Hey there's the One Boom, and welcome to an episode of Mindset. In this episode, we're going to be talking about how you can master any video game. Enjoy the video. So maybe you've heard the expression, it's just like riding a bike. Well, why do people use the expression, just like riding a bike? Why do we remember how to ride a bike? How is it when you hop on a bike and you finally get it to work, and you finally get it to pedal, and you never forget? You never forget how to ride your first bike, or any bike really. Why not? Well, because you fall down a lot. You teeter-totter, you fall over, you crash, and you have to remember how to keep your balance. Over and over again, you have to remember how to keep your balance. So anyway, you fall over, and you remember how to get back up, and you do it and do it and do it till you master it, and then you can never forget. So how can we implement this into a video game? Well, like most people, you probably have more than one video game. Hopefully they're not just mini games or just tiny little arcade games, and hopefully you have some genuinely large games to play outside of just Call of Duty. And you might play a game more than Call of Duty, doesn't really matter. I mostly focus on Call of Duty on this channel, so that's what I'm going to focus this around. So let's just say, for argument's sake, you want to master Call of Duty Black Ops 3. Alright, so how are you going to go about that? Are you going to play for hours, like 5 hours, 6 hours a day, maybe even 8 hours a day? Stay up all night playing, stay up all day playing, just playing non-stop. You go to your friend's house and play, you ask your friends to get on and play. You know, there's not a lot else you can do, right? I mean, that's grinding, that's how you learn. Some people tackle school this way. They tackle, like, learning algebra or physics or stuff this way. They just pound it into their head for hours and hours and hours and hours. They stare at it, they watch it, they do it, they work it. And yeah, that's hard work, and you should do that, you should practice it. But they do it to the point where they drive themselves insane. They overwork themselves on it, and that's not a good thing to do. The key to learning how to do something is to stop. To stop playing Call of Duty, to stop working on your algebra, to stop for a while, go do something else. Actually, the way I learned algebra is by doing algebra. I do some practice problems. I would watch videos on YouTube of people doing the problems. I would go to khanacademy.com and I would work out different problems. And then I would take a break. After about 40 minutes of that, I would take a break and go watch an episode of Doctor Who. I'd watch some YouTube. I'd build with Legos. I'd play a video game. I'd do something. And that's seems not very hard working. And, you'll know the old saying, don't work harder, work smarter. And I really did, because then I'd come back to it in a couple of hours. I'd take, work for 40 minutes, take hours break. How did I ever learn anything? Well, in that break, I had forgotten what I learned. And then I'd go back and do it all over again and remember. I kept reminding myself. So instead of pounding the knowledge into my brain, what I did instead was put just the right amount until I'm satisfied. Put just the right amount in, and then cover it with a bunch of stuff. TV shows, building, video games, cover it, whatever, and in like 2 or 3 hours, what the hell is math? Who cares about math? And then I go back and I do it, and I uncover it. It's the process of covering it up, and then uncovering it and remembering it. Cover it, uncover it, cover it, uncover it. Once you do this for about a week, it is really hard to forget. I actually remember my family's router password by like the back of my own hand. And that's kind of odd, isn't it? That I remember that? That's kind of a weird thing to remember. But how I remembered it was I would read it, type it in, and then go to other things. And I wasn't even trying to remember it. It was just the process of me like having to go into the router and fix it a lot, because it was kind of a shitty router, and like changing settings and finding things that worked. After a while, I realized I was forgetting it, looking it up and remembering it again, to the point where I had covered it and uncovered it and recovered it so many times that it has been burned into my memory. It's become fact. In fact, here it is, 78, 751, 95. I can remember that. It's kind of a weird mix of numbers. It's not that many numbers, but it's kind of odd. And I can remember that. 78, 751, 95. I can remember that like the back of my hand, because I've remembered it and forgot it and remembered it and forgot it, remembered it and forgot it so many times that it has been burned in my memory. So let's get into video games. How have I actually been getting better at Black Ops 3? I don't play it as much. I don't grind it. There's two things I think when I see a high-level player in Call of Duty, and that is they grind or they're good. And what I mean by that is that a lot of people that just grind Call of Duty for the challenges and camos, they don't end up really ever getting better at the game. It just really tests their tenacity. It tests how long they can sit in one spot and play a game. And that's fine if you want to play a game for a long time. I've made videos on how to grind and how to set up your grind. And that's a really good video to watch, actually, because I do like grinding video games. But if you're looking to get better, if you're looking to master the damn game, then the important thing to do is to play it to the point where you're satisfied, not to the point where you're bored, to the point where you're satisfied, the point where you kind of want to keep playing, but, you know, you're going to take a break. You're okay with taking a break, and you're okay with, you know, still playing. But the important thing to do is make sure that your brain is engaged in something else during your break. You have to make sure that you're being involved in something, so you're not just passively watching movies. Make sure you're doing something, playing a different video game, building something, putting something together, setting things up, cleaning something else. Make sure your brain is engaged and take a decent break. I have had 3 play sessions with Black Ops 3 this week, and each one has been better than the last. Because in the midst of taking a break and then coming back, and taking a break and then coming back, I have to remind myself how to play, because obviously when I go play Halo or Battlefield or any other type of game, I have to remember the controls to Black Ops 3. I have to remember the way it feels, the way the sensitivity feels, the way the recoil handles, the way, you know, the time to kill, all these different things where spawns are. I have to remind myself of these things. And in the act of reminding myself, I'm burning it into my memory. It's becoming fact. And that's really important for you guys to understand. If you think that you can just constantly play one game over and over and over again and get better, you're right. You're totally right. You can do that. You can totally play a game for hours and hours and hours and get it right. But a faster, more efficient, less frustrating way of doing it is taking a break, coming back, feeling uncomfortable, not exactly knowing how to do it. You know, basically make it feel like a new game. It just feels odd to you. But the important thing is when you come back and it feels odd and it feels uncomfortable and your hands don't feel like they're doing what they're supposed to and your aim is off and everything, you have to play. And this is where the tenacity and the grind comes in. You have to play until you feel comfortable again. Once you get to that point and you've had some good games in and you've gone off a little bit, you had some action, you did well, take a break again. Go do something else. Come back until it's burned into your memory, and then, much as riding a bike, you don't have to keep doing this. You don't have to keep falling off the bike. After a certain point, the bike is just a fact. You know how to ride a bike. You see a bike, you think, I could ride that shit, and that's important. Is that when you come back to Black Ops 3, you feel confident, and that's the key word, is confidence. A long time ago, I made a video on how to be more confident in Call of Duty, and I just said keep playing it. And that's true. Make sure you keep playing it, but make sure you take a break long enough for you to forget how to play it, and then come back. Remind yourself of how to play, and that is a key way of putting that groove into your mind, and then confidence will follow. Confidence follows experience. Experience it as much as you can, and as useful as I think this tip is, play the way you want, play what's comfortable to you. If you already feel like you're the best at Call of Duty, you're probably wrong, so maybe give this a try, just for my sake. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. I'll try that again. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will see you when I see you. And yeah, goodbye! Sour Patch Kids are weird. It's like you're eating a child, and it's sour. And it's like, it's supposed to represent the sour taste you'd have in your mouth if you killed a child via eating him. But then it's sweet, because now you've consumed the child in the name of Satan. Sour, sweet, hail Satan.
I cannot believe he just hailed Satan on YouTube.